Hello, welcome to Yoga Studies Institute. My name is Christina, and I am thrilled to lead you through the next 30 minutes of our first yama practice, ahimsa. Ahimsa translates as non-harming. The fruit that yields from practicing ahimsa is the fruit of peace. When we not only avoid harming any others, but also plant seeds to protect life, then we will start to see the fruits of peace flourish in our world. Master Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, Chapter 2, verse 35. Ahimsa, pratishtayam, tat sanidao, vaira tyaga. If you make it a way of life never to hurt others, then in your presence, all conflict comes to an end. So, how can we infuse this into our practice? Perhaps there's someone you can buy a nourishing treat for, or an act of protecting life could be to offer your home to someone in need. Thinking of this yama not as a way to rein something in, but how to infuse it into our life joyfully is beneficial in turning the act into a positive, rather than feeling like we're being held back in any way. Let's see if we can infuse that into our practice today. Please join me in a comfortable seated position on your mat, finding a tall spine, elongating behind the neck, gentle lift at the base of the skull, keeping the chin leveled with the earth. Feel your shoulders melting away from your earlobes. And bring in this soft, peaceful expression to the face, a little lift at the corners of the lips. Notice how this softens in between the eyebrows. Sweet disposition as we develop this healthy curiosity to what's happening on the inside. Can you bring your attention to your breath at the tip of the nose? Not doing anything to manipulate the breathing, just focusing on the sensation of air entering the nostrils and exiting through the nostrils. Let's count 5 rounds of breath as a way to withdraw from the outer senses and become more attuned to the inside world. Each inhale and exhale being 1. You can drop the counting and notice how you're showing up to this practice today. How can we perceive more peace in our world? Can we be more mindful of not only refraining from harming others, but protecting life, bringing peace into others' lives? Allow that to be like a ripple effect into the world. Knowing this peaceful energy of ours will be infectious in a way. Start to deepen your breathing. Becoming aware of the surroundings and your body resting here. And invite in small movements by wiggling your fingers. Circle out at the wrists. Next inhale, brings arms long overhead. Feel the sides of your body stretch as you press the palms together to touch. And exhale, bring your hands through heart space, palms into your lap, and flutter your eyes open. Welcome back. Let's get started with our meditative movements. Let's start with just some gentle head rolls, 3 times in one direction. Try not to sway the torso around at all, just gently moving the head. Getting rid of some of those crunchy feelings in the neck and shoulders, and you can reverse the roll opposite direction. Beautiful. Next time your chin is in toward your chest, just pause for a moment, breathing space into the back of the neck. Good. Lift the chin parallel to the earth. Reach your arms out to the side and slightly arch the back. Look up, inhale. Exhale, bring your right arm underneath your left. Give yourself a big hug. If you feel okay here, maybe you add on by finding an eagle wrap, single or double, with the arms, and squeeze the elbows down toward the chest. Let your chin fall, maybe bring your fingertips forward. Breathing into the back of the heart space. On your inhale, roll up to seated, unravel your wings to the side, arch the back, open up the chest. Exhale, round the back, bring left arm underneath the right, hands on top of the shoulders, giving yourself a hug, or finding the eagle wrap with the arms, taking 2 rounds of breath here, hollow out at the belly. Good, and release. Let's come to lay on the front of the body. You can start by just making a little pillow for your forehead here, maybe a diamond shape with the hands. Beautiful. And on a breath in, you're going to lift head, neck, and shoulders off the mat. And then exhale, come down. So strengthening the back, preparing us for some postures that we have coming up later in the practice, using your breath. Inhale to lift and exhale down. Do that 3 more times. Inhale, lift, keeping the neck long. Exhale, coming down. Awesome. Then you can bring your forehead on the mat, tee out the arms here, palms facing down. Bend to the left knee, bringing the left heel up. And then you're going to try and tap the left toes behind you, opening up the front of the right shoulder. Good. Actively reaching your fingertips to either direction. Roll through center, and let's do that on the other side. Bend the right knee, and then tap the right toes behind you, opening up the front of the shoulders. Being gentle with yourself as you move through this practice. Don't force anything to happen if the body feels tight. Come back to center. Walk the palms underneath the shoulders, and then you can lift up to a baby cobra. Lifting the palms an inch or so off the mat. And exhale, bringing the forehead down. Press yourself up to tabletop position. Tuck your toes and lift the hips high for downward facing dog. Spending 3 rounds of breath here just to shake out the head, maybe stretch out your feet, get your hips as high as possible. Good, and then drop the heels toward the earth. Keeping that soft bend in the knees. Don't worry about the heels touching. They don't have to fully touch just yet. You can connect with Ujjayi breath in through the nose and out through the nose. This is a great way to build the heat in the body. On your next inhale, bend the knees, look toward your hands, and take small steps to meet your hands at the top of the mat. Finding forward fold, measuring hip width distance in between your feet with 2 fists. Let's clasp the hands behind the nape of the neck. Draw your elbows in and then sway from side to side. Keeping that peaceful expression on your face, remembering your intentions of this practice. Release the arms heavy now. To come to standing, roll up vertebra by vertebra. Take your time, no rushing. Stacking your spine, letting the head arrive last. Draw the shoulders up toward the ears and then down the back, Tadasana. Good. So go ahead and lift your toes and then plant each toe pad down. Rooting through the center of the feet. On your next breath in, reach the arms up, look up. Reaching up and then slightly reaching back, opening up the chest. Exhale, dive over the legs, fold with the hands clasped behind the back. Squeeze behind the shoulder blades. Imagine like there's a grape there that you're trying to squish. And then draw the wrists toward one another to let the fists go overhead. Shake the head side to side to make sure there's no tension in the neck. Breathe in to lift up halfway, pressing your fists toward the back of the room. Exhale, plant the palms, step, step back, high plank position. Bend your knees, arch the back, bring your chest and chin toward the mat, point the toes. Inhale, slide up to cobra. Elbows stay close in toward the torso, look up. Exhale, move through tabletop position, tuck the toes, lift the hips high, downward facing dog. We'll take 3 rounds of breath here. Feel your sit bones widen. Nice long spine. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Step, step to the top of the mat, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise and shine up. Utthita Sthasana, slight back bend. Exhale, swan dive over the legs. Uttanasana, hands clasped behind the back. Breathe in to lift up halfway, open up the front of the shoulders. Exhale, palms down, step, step, or jump back to chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, upward facing dog if you're an up dog. Let the knees stay off the mat. Exhale, squeeze belly button to spine, hips high, downward facing dog, 3 breaths. Containing the heat in the body with Ujjayi breath if you have it. On your next inhale, bend your knees. Let your belly touch your thighs. Look forward where you're gonna go. And then step or jump to meet your hands at the top of the mat, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rising and shining up. And exhale, hands come through heart space. Arms go alongside your body. Tadasana. Beautiful. Let's get into a little bit of a standing balancing posture. From Tadasana, really bring all your attention into the right sole of the foot. You can even close your eyes down. Good. Activating the muscles around the right knee, even squeezing the right glute in. Bring your hands toward your waist. Now flutter the eyes open. Find a spot in front of you that's not moving, so your drishti or focus point for your gaze. Bend your left knee, and then inhale, bring the left knee in toward the chest. See if you can grow an inch taller here. Before opening up the left hip, finding Vrikshasana, tree pose. We're gonna use the help of our left hand into the inner right thigh, or the shin, or you can bring the toes all the way down like a kickstand. Good. So pressing the foot into the thigh, and the thigh presses back. Now let's bring our hands together at heart space. So we're opening up the heart here as well. Taking a moment to find your balance, find that balance and equilibrium. This could be a good time to think about what we're grateful for. Can you rejoice in your efforts in this practice? Maybe acts of kindness that you've done recently to protect life, or acts of kindness you've witnessed others do for other people. You can grow your branches up and out to the side. Good. And bring your hands back to heart space. Good. Close the hip. I'm going to come to face toward the front of the mat again. Keep the left foot flexed. Now, kick the left heel back. We're going to come into Virabhadrasana 3, Warrior 3 pose. Left toes pointing down. Earth is available to you if you want to bring your fingertips down for more support. Really reaching crown of the head forward, maybe even reaching arms back for 3, 2, breathing here, 1. Rise up to stand, Tadasana, close the eyes. Resisting the urge to fidget or move around, just let that energy resonate, waking up the prana in the body. Using this physical vessel, using our breath to shift the prana in the body and shift the prana in the mind. Where are your thoughts right now? What seeds are you planting? What fruits are you looking to see come into your life? This fruit of peace through ahimsa. Bring your attention now into the 4 corners of your left foot. Wiggle your left toes and then plant each toe pad down. Stamping through the left foot, Finding this left leg nice and sturdy as you bring your hands to your waist and flutter your eyes open. Pick your drishti point in front of you. Bend your right knee and inhale, bring the right knee into the chest. Take a beat just to grow taller before opening the hip to the side, finding your tree pose, Vrikshasana, opposite side. You can choose the same variation you did on the other side, or it doesn't have to match perfectly. Eventually, hands come to heart space, pressing your thumbs into your sternum, keeping your gaze soft. Good. You can lift your gaze to the point where the wall and the ceiling meet, maybe growing your branches up and out to the side again. Joyful effort, soft, sweet expression, peaceful gaze forward for 3, 2, 1. Bring your hands back together at heart space. Close the right hip. I'll come to face toward the front of the mat again. Keep your right foot flexed. Inhale, kick back. Warrior 3. Choosing your variation. Maybe you try something different this time. Maybe arms forward like this superhero. 3. Breathing in through the nose. Exhaling. 2, 1. Rise up to stand. Nicely done. Come to Tadasana at the top of your mat. We'll move through a vinyasa just to flush that out. Inhale, reach the arms up, lift up and back. Exhale, dive over the legs, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, move through your flow, stepping or jumping back. Inhale, slide your heart up for your back bend. Exhale into downward facing dog. Nice work. Take your 3 rounds of breath here. Good. Start to inhale and lift your heels up high. Roll forward to a high plank position. So shoulders are over the wrists. Squeeze your belly tight. And then we're going to come down for a count of 10, bending your elbows. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. You can bring one cheek to the mat. Shimmy your hips from side to side. Good. Now draw the big toes together to touch. Zipping the legs toward one another. Foreheads on the mat. Clasp your hands at the lower back. On a breath in, draw your fists toward your feet. Lift the head, neck, and shoulders, looking straight down. Locust pose. Good. Really lifting up, breathing here. If you want, you can lift your toes. So you're reaching toes back, fists back, crown of head forward for 3, for 2, 1. Slowly come down, bring the opposite cheek to the mat. Shimmy your hips from side to side. Nicely done. We're going to have one more opportunity to find a variation like this. Going into locust pose again, or we can try out an upward bow pose. If you want to do that, bring your chin onto the mat. Bend the knees, bringing heels toward the glutes. And grab the outside of your feet or ankles, bringing the thumb around as well. Keep the knees toward one another. On your inhale, kick into your hands. Let the kicking into your hands be what cracks open the heart space. Continuously kicking into the hands, staying for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly come down without crashing. You can bring the opposite cheek to the mat. Windshield wiper the legs from side to side. Nicely done. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Press yourself up to tabletop. Bring the big toes together to touch with the heels slightly apart, knees as wide as the mat. Find a child's pose, Balasana. Forehead touches the mat. You can rub it side to side. Release any constricted breathing you might have had.
Walk the palms underneath the shoulders. Press yourself up to sit on your heels, bringing the knees toward one another, finding Virasana, hero's pose. Bringing the palms on top of your lap, facing up, and you can tap the thumb and index finger together to touch. Drop your chin down and lift the pelvic floor up and in, closing the eyes, breathing in through both nostrils. Exhale through both nostrils, envisioning this brightness exiting out from the eyebrows in between there. Do this 2 more times. Flutter the eyes open and lift the chin. Bring one hip down to the mat. Extend the legs in front of you, soles of the feet touching the mat. Good. Bring your palms behind you, fingertips facing toward your body. We're going to come into a reverse tabletop. On your breath in, lift the hips up. Good. Staying for 5 breaths. Squeezing the hips up. If you feel comfortable here, you can let the head drop back. And continuously squeeze the hips up for 3, 2, and 1. Tuck the chin all the way, bend your elbows, and slowly bring your sit bones down. Extend the arms long in front of you. Let's roll down for a count of 5, squeezing your belly tight. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lovely. We made it down to the mat. Give yourself a big hug. Rock from side to side, knees in toward your chest. Maybe this peaceful quality is already washing over you. This reminder to use this yama, ahimsa, in every action through our body, speech, and mind. You can bring the hands on top of the knees and circle the knees in one direction. Reverse the circle, other way. Good. Separate the knees, hands on top of the knees still, or you can grab outside of the feet for happy baby, keeping the tailbone heavy. Maybe straightening one leg at a time if the space is available to you, or both legs. Draw the knees back in toward the chest. Keep the left knee in toward your chest. Draw the right leg down the length of the mat. And then draw the left knee sort of closer to the left underarm. Okay, take a breath here. And draw the left knee across the body for a supine twist. Over to the right side. You can extend your left arm out to the side and turn your gaze over your left shoulder. Spending 5 rounds of breath here. Slowly roll onto your back body. Nice. Extending left leg down the length of the mat. Let's inhale right knee into the chest and draw it a little bit closer to the right underarm, hugging it. Now you can draw right knee across the body over to the left side, straightening the right arm and looking over your right shoulder for 5 rounds of breath. Just let your body get heavy here, let gravity do its thing in this supine twist. Roll onto your back body. Extend the right leg down the mat. You can kind of wiggle the legs a little side to side and circle at the ankles. Good. Bend the knees, bringing the soles of the feet down on the mat. And then cross your left leg over your right. Bring the knees in toward your chest and then grab the outsides of your feet with your hands and then draw the feet away from one another. You should get a nice stretch along the IT band sides of the thighs. And release. You can bring the feet down, reverse the cross. Now right leg over the left. Draw the knees in toward the chest, grab the outsides of the feet, and then draw the feet away from one another. And release, bringing the soles of the feet down, walking the feet together to touch, allowing the knees to open to either side, soles of the feet press, Supta Baddha Konasana. You can bring the heels of your palms into the fleshy part where the hips and the thighs meet, and then press it away, tucking the chin slightly. You might feel a nice release in the lower back. And then let go. Placing the hands on the body will give you a greater sense of grounding. You can close the eyes here and just enjoy this peaceful, restorative posture. Becoming clear on any obstacles or anything we want to remove from our life so we don't see any violence in our world. Planting these seeds to witness peace by protecting life. Doing our best not to harm others. And let's bring the hands to the thighs, guiding the knees toward one another. You can extend one leg down the mat at a time, finding Shavasana, corpse pose, resting here with the palms facing up, taking up space, closing your eyes completely if they weren't already. And visualizing what this perfect, peaceful world would look like. Can we dedicate our efforts? Any sensations of goodness that arise for you today, can we offer it up? Sharing this peaceful exercise with others who can really use it right now. Start to deepen your breathing. Coming back into this body, back into the space that you're practicing in. Recognizing the sound of my voice or any nearby sounds. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Circle out at the ankles and the wrists. Reach your arms overhead. Give yourself a nice long stretch like you're waking up for the second time today. And exhale, release. Bend one knee at a time. And roll over onto your favorite side in a fetal position. Taking a couple more restful breaths. Whenever you feel ready, press into your top hand to guide you up into an easy cross-legged seated position, facing toward me. Palms together at heart space, and let your chin drop into your hands, honoring your hard work and efforts. Recognizing the importance of practicing ahimsa, non-harming, protecting life. And thank you so much for sharing your beautiful energy with me today. I hope that you enjoyed this practice, and I hope to see you again soon on the mat. Please take this peaceful energy with you into the rest of your day, protecting life using this first foundational yama, ahimsa. Have a beautiful day, everyone. Thank you so much.